Hello there, Stanley Carr here. I love collecting music and sports memorabilia. Want to know where you can find some? I'll tell you. Go to oldglory.com. This website features one-of-a-kind apparel from your favorite sports teams and musical artists. And I can help you get 15% off of all items. Use the code WWH135. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Wrestling with Heart, a podcast looking at pro wrestlers giving back to their community. Join me, Stanley Carr, as I interview wrestling's hottest names who use their platforms as entertainers to raise awareness and do community service.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Heart. This is the show where we talk with professional wrestlers and professional wrestling personalities about their lives in and outside of the ring, as well as doing charity work, community service, volunteering, and spreading positivity. We're always about the positive vibes here on the show. Before I introduce my guest today, I want to take this time to promote our brand new book, which you can see right here on your screen. Wrestling with Heart presents Champions for a Cause, Volume 1. It is a collection of interviews with some of your favorite wrestling personalities like Tito Santana, Jake the Snake Roberts, Mark Merrow, Buff Bagwell, and so many others. It is now available on Amazon.com as a paperback for $15. Get your copy now. With me right now, I've got a very special guest. He has competed for numerous wrestling promotions across the country. He's also made appearances for AEW as well as Full Impact Pro. I am pleased to welcome the one and only Troy Hollywood. Welcome to Wrestling with Heart.
What's up, my man? Thank you for having me, brother.
It's my pleasure. So talk to me about your childhood and upbringing. Where are you from?
I'm from Clearwater, Florida. You ever heard of it?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, Music City.
Gotcha, brother. Okay. Yeah, I'm from Clearwater, Florida. The South is big on wrestling. Grew up watching wrestling, of course. I played sports. Out of high school, when high school was over, I was like, what's next? What happens next? One day I just happened to be on Google looking for wrestling schools. At the time I looked beforehand, but the only wrestling school that was close to me was Team 3D, and they were in Kissimmee, and that was like 2 hours away, and they wanted like a crazy amount of money for me at the time. And I had no place to stay. So it was just, it was like, can't do it. And then one day I Googled and I saw Jay Lethal had a school. He just opened up a school and it was like a block from where I stayed. So I used to leave my house, walk up the street. It was about a good 10-minute walk, make a right, hit the railroad tracks. Literally, the school was right there. Altogether, it was about a good 12-minute walk at the most.
Were you always a big fan of wrestling as a kid growing up?
Yeah, man. My dad said, I can't tell you if this is true or not, but this is what he said. He said one day I was crying as a baby, and he turned on wrestling, and then I stopped crying, so he never turned it off. So
good way to keep the little kid a little quiet,
Yeah. My first recollection of wrestling really is I remember watching TV one night and I saw Mankind getting thrown off the Hell in a Cell with Undertaker, and that was my first real. Clearly, they were like either, watching something. The Raw was on clearly, but they were probably watching, playback or something. But yeah, that was like my first real recollection of wrestling. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was a huge moment, and fans still talk about it to this day. I think Jim Ross really said it best. They killed him, like literally in the middle of the ring. It was just like that was a real gruesome moment, intense moment where Mick Foley just fell off the cage. It's a moment that I'll never forget watching on TV, and I'm sure you probably felt the same.
Oh yeah, right. That's why I kept watching. You hope for moments like that. I mean, thankfully he's okay, but stuff like that is why people watch wrestling. You see people, put their lives on the line, and his life was definitely on the line that night. And to get up and to walk away from that and to have more matches and tell more stories is just amazing, crazy.
It is. Who would you say are people that you really idolized or grew up loving as far as their in-ring work and style and just their characters? Who were some of your favorites to watch growing up?
Well, my favorite wrestler of all time, I'm gonna get a little flack for it, but Triple H. Uh, as a kid, I don't know why what kind of drew me to him, but I just loved what he was doing, and everybody was like, I think a Shawn Michaels fan, and I was just like, nah, bro, Triple H. That I like that other guy, you know. So I was always a big Triple H fan. Probably some others would probably, The Rock is in there, of course, Stone Cold, you know. It's hard to really. I was a big fan of wrestling. I never really honed in on one person other than Triple H, but other than that, it was just everybody else I was just watching, you know.
The Attitude Era definitely had so much star power. You had The Rock and Steve Austin and Triple H and Undertaker and DX and Kane and everybody. It was like a star-studded
It's so much.
roster.
You got Road Dogg, you got APA, you got, man, come on. It's so much. Like, you can't, it'll be hard to say a list of guys, you know. That's why I just enjoyed everything that was going on.
Did you have like a favorite moment involving Triple H that you still think, man, I can't believe that actually happened? What's like your favorite Triple H moment that you can recall?
That SummerSlam match, him and Shawn Michaels, like that whole like build up to that was insane, you know, like who hit him backstage and he's saying he didn't, and then he finally comes out and say he did, and they had to match at SummerSlam, and then at the end he hits him over the, with the sledgehammer. That whole feud, man. Even the song behind it was amazing. You know, everything about that was just. If you want, I tell people if they want to get in, like, you just watch that. Watch that on YouTube, because I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube. Watch that highlight or feud, whatever it is. Watch that.
I definitely think that's kind of like one of the most underrated rivalries, because they told some amazing stories between both guys. You had the SummerSlam match, you had the Royal Rumble a couple of years later, and that Hell in a Cell match that followed that, man, that was intense stuff. It really was just the battles that they had and the stories that both of those guys told. Amazing chemistry, not just as partners, but as opponents too.
Yeah, they had it, man. That's one of those times you couldn't miss as a wrestling fan, and I rarely missed, like my mom gave me bedtime to 10 o'clock, but on Mondays it was, I believe it was till 11. Yeah, on Mondays. Whenever Raw went off, that's when she said, whenever it goes off, that's when you go to sleep. So it was always,
So growing up, did you always know this is what you wanted to do, or did it come on a little bit later on?
No, I always wanted to, but it was more so like how, I didn't really know any schools around me. So my dad, he wasn't around wrestling, so he would know. I wouldn't ask him, he doesn't have any answers for it. So it was really more so like, I figured my whole plan was I get to the NBA and then I eventually get big enough to where I can have a match at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? And then I go, I'm going to retire from the NBA and I'll freaking wrestle. I'll switch over. Like, that was the original plan, but of course that didn't happen. But I'm glad I was boxing at the time. I was boxing for maybe a good 8 months. And then that's when I came across wrestling. And it's crazy that the boxing gym that I went to was right down the street from the wrestling school that Lethal had. So, yeah, it was crazy. It was all crazy.
So you were trained by Jay Lethal. Talk to me about your experiences, anything that he taught you that you've still apply to today throughout your experiences in learning how to wrestle. It's hard. It really is. You have to really want to do it, and you have to really be prepared for so much when you start. So what was your experience like learning how to wrestle?
I can remember the first day I walked in. He was he had this purple shirt, Macho Man shirt, walk in, and he just came off as a nice guy, He never rubbed me the wrong way, because I mean, I was ready for that hard nose, do it again, yelling, cry, that stuff that you see on, like Triple H on Tough Enough, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff. I was ready for the worst experience ever. I come from sports, so I was already, my mindset was, all right, let this guy yell. He's gonna yell. He's gonna eventually, cool down once he see I can do this, But he immediately he came off as a nice guy that just wanted to help other people, you know what I'm saying? And I had a great group of guys with me that also just wanted to learn how to wrestle. And I mean, he'd opened up the school. He eventually gave us a key. We were there like 7 days a week, man. I swear we wrestled nonstop, and he had no problem. He was double champ in ROH at the time. He was a world champ and TV champ, and he was still at the school every day. So I mean, you gotta love. I mean, you didn't have to be there, So for him to be there, that speaks a lot to his character and love for the business, So shout out to him always. He's a great person.
It's a commitment. You really have to want to do this if you want to be successful. And much like with anything, you got to put 110% effort into it. And so any drills that you remember running or doing with him that you can recall?
Yeah, I remember one day, I don't want to mess up his name. I can't think of the guy's name. I won't even say that one. One day, Samoa Joe came to the school, and man, we had to learn. He gave us shoulder tackles, and we were learning shoulder tackles that day. And man, he was running through everybody, and it was one of those things that you had to learn. Like, this is what this is, Like that was a real experience. It was eye opening for a lot of us that was sitting there. It was like, whoa, like there's this way and then there's this way, So it was, I mean, and he had so many people like just randomly pop up to the school and help out. So it was always, like I always say, man, it was, I could tell stories for days about training there,
What was it like learning from Samoa Joe?
Oh man, talk about just he also a good guy. He didn't never rub me. As soon as you meet him, he doesn't rub you the wrong way. You see this guy on television, mean mugging, being this guy, and then you meet him. I don't want to, mess up who he is on television, but he's a nice guy, But you can just tell when outside of the ring when people are nice, but when you're inside of the ring, it's not nice. It's hard nosed. You got to take it seriously, So that's how I am when I think I get that from Lethal and Joe as well. It's that more so when I'm training, I love to laugh. There's nothing in this world I love to do more than laugh, But when I'm wrestling, I'm serious about it. I'm dedicated because we can get hurt doing this, So there's no need for us to laugh if there's not a joking matter at hand, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I rub people the wrong way when it comes to me being who I am, but it's tough. It's weird because I love it so much. I sometimes sound like a crazy man when I talk about it. I sometimes ramble like I'm doing right now, but it's so much passion when I come to when I talk about wrestling. I just love talking about it,
You had mentioned growing up you were playing sports in school. How do you feel that helped prepare you for the world of pro wrestling?
Well, there you go. I had those hard-nosed coaches. At one point, my dad was a coach, and I wish he was more nicer, but he wasn't. He gave me even more so of, the heat than he did to the other guys. I respect it for what it is, and that's, that was all through my life. All my coaches were hard-nosed. They joke, but when it came to practice, when it came to play, there was no joking. Everything was serious. So that playing sports can definitely prepare you for wrestling for sure. It helps bring out you have a different animal inside you. Some people that do wrestle, they never played sports ever, and they just get into wrestling, and it's a weird when they meet someone that's played sports. You know what I'm saying? We come from two different backgrounds, so it's always a weird thing, but definitely sports can it keeps you it keeps your mind focused. You know, you can hear someone yell at you and you understand. You can take criticism better, and it helps a lot for sure.
So you put the fundamentals together after working with Jay Lethal. Eventually, you make your debut.
Oof.
I've talked to so many people on the show about their first few matches. What was your experience like walking out to a crowd for the first time?
Terrible. It was so bad, man. I was so nervous because you want to perform, you know, and it's so much when you think about that first match, you know. And my first match was a triple threat match, and it was like, what? Like I can't even have a regular singles match. I'm doing a triple threat match, so that was the most complicated thing. I'm glad I did it, you know, to get it out of the way, but man, those first couple matches were so just because you're just trying out stuff. You're so nervous, you don't know what's gonna work. You're so focused on the moves, you're not even caring about the crowd. Now the crowd's just looking dead at you, and you don't know what to do. And very nervous. Your gear is messed up. You don't even have good gear. Just you rarely watch those first matches because it's very cringe. I've never.
Anything that people, your trainers or people you were working with, kind of talk to you about in the back after those few matches? Any tips they gave you to work on, improve, and things that you were able to correct for the next match?
I'm gonna be honest. I cannot remember, brother. There was so many people have gave me so much advice. Like I cannot remember. Man, no, I have no idea. So many. It's been so much good advice, you know, and
Well,
I
let me
can't
ask you
think of
this. Let me ask you this. At what point did your confidence start to grow?
Wow. Okay, good question. I had a match with Swerve, and I believe that really is what clicked when I heard the crowd chanting my name, and I heard the crowd going back and forth with that. Really, I was like, oh, all right, cool. So after that match, he gave me some great advice as well. He's a great guy as well. And I took that, and I was like, I remember waking up the next day, going to the ring, and I was like, I get it. I get it, you know. And I always say Swerve because I just remember that match that really turned a gear. And I always tell people, like newcomers, like you're gonna have that match that's gonna just make everything work, you know, turn on. And you're gonna go, oh, I get it now. So yeah, big shout out to him because that match was like a big eye opener. I was like, whoa, I can actually, whoa, you know. Yeah.
You can tell, like, when the fans are very passionate and they really like love what they're watching. That's when you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, and I've had those matches, you know, I've had those crowd before, and it was just I don't know, it was just something about that match. It was just really it was eye opener for me. And he was a big name. I believe he was at MLW at the time. So it was it was a lot around it. So it definitely was a big eye opener for me.
Now you've made appearances on AEW television, working several matches with Dark. How did that come about? Did Tony Khan or any of the officials approach you about coming on board and doing some matches?
For the moments that matter, choose Curad Naturals. Infused with aloe vera and vitamin E, Curad Naturals bandages protect your unexpected scrapes, cuts, and burns while also moisturizing your skin. Find deeper relief with natural ingredients you can trust to start the healing. When life's surprises call for the best, choose Curad, a deeper level of care. Shop the full collection on Amazon or visit Curad.com to learn more.
I want to just say that I got an email. Simply, look, one day I got an email about doing some work. I believe I had 2 matches on Dark. I believe so, and then I believe one time I sat in catering. But yeah, it was nothing. It was good matches. I believe I wrestled Lethal on one. That was the first time we've ever wrestled. Even in training, we never really wrestled for some odd reason, but that was the first time we ever wrestled. And then I wrestled the Dark Order in the next one. That was like a 6-man, I believe. And yeah, that was it was just matches. That's what it was. I mean, I'm glad grateful for the experience, but yeah, nothing ever. There was nothing after that or anything like that. But, yeah.
So I guess nothing like ever materialized. Did anybody like come to you, offer you a deal to come in?
No shit. Womp womp.
I mean, you got exposure though. You got
Yeah,
national exposure, so that had to have felt good.
yeah, of course. That's why I said I'm grateful for the opportunity. I wasn't, I'm not bitter about the experience. I had great food, great time, great laughs. So I'm not, it was great all around.
And you've been able to wrestle for so many different promotions on the independent scene. Talk to me about some of the people you've had the pleasure of getting to work with over the years.
So many guys from Florida. I can't really name all of them because so many guys. Wrestled Austin Theory once. He's a great guy in the back. I shared the locker room with a lot of those. It was a time where FIP was a lot of guys like Fred Gahai, Brian Cage, ACH was coming in. Drew Gulak was there. It was It was so much going on. You know what I'm saying? So it, man, to from it, from who else? Geez, Low Key was a cool guy to sit around and talk to for a little bit. Yeah, bro, it's a lot, brother. So big.
And the thing is like we're in such a huge boom period right now with wrestling. All the alternatives, all the companies are doing amazing things. WWE, AEW, TNA, like everybody's really doing amazing things. And so the independent scene, I feel like, is also on fire as well because you got so many talents, you got so much passion. What's it like in 2026 currently working for these different places and getting your name out there and being a part of something huge?
It's always fun about, being a part of something big. Where I'm at now in Orlando, promotion called Mayhem on Mills. We're trying to build something very large. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where they started in a parking lot, and now it's in this crazy bars, great atmosphere, great crowd. There's a lot of great crowds in Florida. I mean, Florida is a great place to wrestle. The sun's always out. You rarely, sometimes you hope it's not in a parking lot. Sometimes it is in a parking lot, but it's still a great crowd for some reason, So I don't even. Once again, I don't know where to begin. It's like,
have you what other places have you gotten the chance to wrestle for? Like other states, other cities?
Wrestled in there was a place North Carolina. It was called PWX at the time. I don't know if you remember that spot, but it was the hottest spot in North Carolina at the time. There had a whole bunch of guys wrestling. It was everybody wanted to get on there at the time. It was insane. Probably around 2016, 17-ish. There wrestled in Indiana once, wrestled in New York for MLW. Crazy experience. I hated New York weather. So I've never experienced like cold rain. Oh my gosh. That was tough, man. Atlanta, AWE. I believe Murder One. Always been a good guy. Shout out to Murder. Alabama once, but I think I got a concussion that match. I wrestled Eddie Kingston, and it was in front of 4 people.
4 people?
Yeah, dude, I can't tell you. I don't remember the promotion. I just remember wrestling. I wrestled Eddie Kingston, and it was literally like maybe at the most 10 people in the crowd.
That's crazy.
Crazy. And we went out there and killed each other.
Is that like the I guess like what I'm trying to say is that like the smallest crowd you've ever wrestled in front of?
I mean, man. No. There was a promotion when I first started coming in. I I'm not gonna say the names. We wrestled in a flea market. Sometimes you can get maybe a good 20 people, maybe, and then sometimes it was like 4 people, and it's normally like old people, like, and I mean they're not giving you any, they're not clapping, they don't give a crap what's going on. They're just sitting there. It's like, what do you even pay to come here for, dude? Very, very weird, bro.
Have you been able to wrestle outside the United States? Have you gone to other countries?
No, sir, I've not done that yet. I want to, but yeah, looking into it. Say that.
What are your future goals in the wrestling business?
Really, I just want to create movies, man. I feel like we lack cinema. People are gravitating towards. I'm not gonna say too much. I believe we're lacking cinema in wrestling, and that's what I really want to put forth in the future of wrestling. It's just a lot more cinema, and that doesn't mean movies per se, but more storytelling if I can. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely for sure. I want to add that to the future of whatever I do in wrestling, whatever company calls. It is what it is, and if it's the indies, I will continue to make movies there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. My the future goal is to create movies, make more cinema in wrestling for sure.
Create movies. I love to hear that. Now, outside of wrestling, I know you've got a very big passion of yours. You've got some little critters at home, some cats.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
talk about it.
I love my cats, brother. I have 2 now. I used to have 3. One passed away. His name was Benny. He passed away probably 3. He passed away in March. That's all good, brother. But yeah, big passion about cats. I'm looking. So I was looking into charities to do more, but I believe the animal shelter down the street from me is open now to volunteer. So I believe that's what the next goal is. I'm going to volunteer there, help out the cat section, and then I'm going to see what I can do for more, say, start my own charity for cats. There's a lot I want to do. There's a lot I want to build. There's a lot I want to say. There's a lot I want to get out to people of the community. Even I want more Black people to have cats. I want more, Spanish people to have more cats. I want more white people to have more cats. I want everybody to have more cats because we need them. We need the love. They need the love. There's no way they should be number 2 behind these, dogs or whatever. But we need to. Cats can help spread love. They've been spreading love since the dawn of time, since the beginning of time. They were roaming the earth before we were ever touching it. You know what I'm saying? So how dare we walk? How dare we stand where they stood with gods once? How dare we and not give back? So that's what I plan on doing. I plan on giving back to cats. I plan on giving love and sheltering. And I hope you plan on doing the same. And everybody else, the world needs cats.
Yeah, I think if you have an animal that you're really loving or passionate about and wanting to get involved, I mean, there's no better place than starting with your local animal rescue shelter, and then from there, going to different fundraisers, different events to kind of, show that passion, encourage your friends and family to do the same thing.
There we go. See, all it takes is one cat, and now you got a house full, brother.
It takes one, and then it just builds and grows, and then from there it spreads.
So you really, empire.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to. That's what you got to do. I guess, was there ever an event that you were involved with, and it doesn't have to be with the animal shelter, but even in wrestling, was there an event that you were involved with, for a benefit show that was very near and dear to your heart, that was very heartwarming?
Yeah. So a while ago, a couple years ago, I had a friend Rex that was in the business, and he had it was him and his buddy Ace, and they were doing Dreamboats for a minute. They were a great tag team, and then unfortunately he got cancer. So we used to, I believe we did 2 benefit shows for him. And it was one of those things that you know, you're not getting paid for it. You're literally just out there having fun. Those one of the times in wrestling where you can have fun. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 shows right there is just those are some of the shows I can watch back again and laugh at the entire, you know, because I know everybody's heart is placed. I remember being in those locker rooms, just laughing, listening to the stories, you know, hanging out. And Rex was even back there, still laughing with us. That man fought cancer. No way I've seen anyone like he was out of the hospital. He was out of the bed, like his deathbed, until he had to be put there. You know, like he was getting dragged there. Like it was insane. And the man was insane for sure.
That's hard, you know, to have a
Yeah,
friend
it was tough.
that you've known for so many years, and he's gone. You know.
Oh yeah, man. I've had so many in the wrestling business. It's crazy that you meet these people and then you get to know them, you get to know their families, you get to know their dads and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden, in a blink of an eye, and you're like, what was that? And some of those stuff I still haven't even been able to process it because life just goes on. So you know, one day I might, you know, you have to face and talk to it, but you know, until then, you just got to keep pushing. You know,
Exactly. One day at a time.
for sure, for sure.
What is it about giving back to the community that gives you the most joy?
People need it. People need help, and that's what the joy is helping. I've given clothes to homeless people, you know, and I didn't need any cameras to do. I didn't need to tell Facebook, Twitter the next day, or or Instagram that I did it. You know, it's just from you just see somebody that needs help, bro. Like one day I saw this lady. I was at work, saw this lady walking. She didn't have any shoes on. We're in Florida. The ground's hot, bro. You know, so I just saw her. I gave her my shoes. And she, not my shoes, my sandals. I had sandals in the car. Went in the car, gave it to him. She's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, just take them." She was like, "Why?" I was like, "Bro, the floor." Like, I was like, "The floor is hot. What do you mean, why?" Like, that's stupid. It's a stupid question. Take the goddamn sandals. I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah, man. It's just one of those. It's just I don't care your situation, what happened, what you did there. In that moment, in that time, I see you need help. I can help. I gotta help. That's just one of those, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you're doing it because it feels good. It
Yeah,
feels good.
I mean, yeah, it feels good, but it also is just like if someone needs help, man. I don't I don't get a feeling. I don't get a I don't pat myself on the back. I was literally just telling my girl this. I gave this guy, I saw him in a Wawa and it was raining and he had wet socks on. And I was like, man, I was like, stay right there for me. I drive the car back to the house real fast, give him some of my slides, and I give them to him. He just goes, and he just takes them. He doesn't say thank you at all. He just takes them. And I got in the car and I asked myself, I was like, am I supposed to, was he supposed to say thank you? Like, was he supposed to, and I was supposed to, well, yeah, you know, probably we supposed to have this come to God conversation or anything, or did he just need help at that moment? You know, and I had to think, and I was like, he just needed help. I didn't need to thank you or anything because it's not my decision. It wasn't my decision to help. It was a choice that someone made for me, and they said this man needs help. So I had to help.
It was the spur of the moment.
Yeah, man, it was a spur of the moment thing, and I'm a very spur of the moment person. So
You
very
got
well.
to You got to do what you got to do what you got to do,
For sure.
and
It's life.
and you got to, you know, if you see somebody in need, gotta
Yeah,
gotta
man. I
take
always
take the lead, take the
man,
initiative.
it's if your shoes match his feet, man. If you need them, you got to give him shoes. That's what I believe. You know, hey,
That's what
that's
it's
what I
about.
believe. You know, we fall
Yeah,
down, we get up. You know,
exactly,
it's something. You know, trust in the Lord. Amen.
exactly. Well, Troy, I want to say thank you for coming on to Wrestling with Heart. It means a lot to me and to my listeners and viewers that are watching this on YouTube. Where can people find out more about you on social media? If you have anything you want to plug, feel free.
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, under, I believe it's Mr. _ T Hollywood on both. And you can find me on Facebook under Troy Hollywood. Yeah, I believe that's it for social media wise. I don't have TikTok. I'm too
All right. Well, thanks again, Troy, and you're more than welcome to come back.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Of course. And remember, you can get your copy now of Champions for a Cause Volume 1. It is now available on Amazon as a paperback for $15. It's got some cool stories in there from some people you might recognize: Al Snow, Tito Santana, Jake the Snake Roberts, Buff Bagwell, and so many others. Get your copy now. I'm Stanley Carr, and I'll see you next time.
This is Wrestling with Heart. I hope you found this podcast to be informative and entertaining. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and look out for the next edition.